go. There we go. That's working. Now y'all can hear me. Yeah, it sounds nice. All right. What's going on, guys? We are back. Haven't posted anything since my last stream, which was right after the draft, I think, with the schedule release, which was another prediction video. So it's been a little bit. You know, took the summer off, haven't been posting anything, and that's all right. Took the summer off. Let's switch this here. All right. And we are going to be going through the full 2024-2025 NFL season and predicting. I did the last video. I went over really, every team's off season and draft, so I don't need to go as in depth here. I'm going to focus a lot on just the week one, and then we'll just go kind of speed it up after that, as I usually do with these streams. So let's start off. First game tonight is Ravens-Chiefs tonight, which is crazy. Just crazy. So let's go. I'm on ESPN here. Have not gone into the teams yet, but let's go with the Ravens. Okay, let's look at their team, see how we think they match up to the Chiefs. I mean, they lost their top two running backs. They lost Gus Edwards. Damn, that's cheeky right up there. Let me close that out. Don't want to be getting distracted, if you know what I mean. But they lost Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, their top two running backs. Keaton Mitchell is out. So they have Derrick Henry there, who I think he'll help a bit, but he's not really in his prime anymore. So I'm not convinced that Derrick Henry is going to really have the Christian McCaffrey effect that I think the Ravens were probably hoping for. Pokemon cards, now that's more my style. They have Lamar. He's always going to keep him in games as long as he's healthy. They re-signed Justin Matabuke, although here it says his name is Nnamdi Matabuke. Don't know when that happened, because as far as I'm concerned, his name is Justin Matabuke. But I don't know. Maybe he changed his name and I had no idea. That's crazy. He fucking changed his name? That's crazy. Why did we not hear about this? I'm so confused. He changed his name. Wow. Nnamdi Matabuke, formerly known as Justin Matabuke. He changed his name 2 days ago. Wow. Had no idea. Good for him, man. Good for him. That's crazy. Wow. That's a shocker. Derrick Henry equals 2 running backs. I don't agree with that. I think Derrick Henry is a fine running back. I mean, he's not in his prime anymore. Derrick Henry definitely does not equal 2 running backs, in my opinion. We are back, Alf. Did you know that he fucking changed his first name from Justin to Nnamdi? Is that how you pronounce it? Am I pronouncing it wrong? I don't want to pronounce this dude's name wrong. But Derrick Henry does not equal 2 running backs. I disagree heavily with that. I think he's well past his prime, and I don't trust what he's going to bring to the table. But Anyway, the receiving core does worry me a little bit. They have Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers. But Nelson Aguilar, I don't really trust him as a starting receiver. I think he could be fine. They did get Tez Walker in the draft, which I like that pick a lot. I like Tez Walker. He's a good player. I'm really looking forward to see what Isaiah Likely, what kind of step forward he could take, because Mark Andrews, he's getting up there in age, and he has been injured a bit. He's been banged around, and I mean, we saw it late last season. They were really missing him down that late stretch. And I think Isaiah Likely, I'd really like to see what he can do, especially in terms of a blocker. I think running two tight end sets with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, when they're trying to force feed Derrick Henry the ball, I think running those two tight end sets is going to be really essential, and seeing what Isaiah Likely can do to take that next step forward. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. They have Roger Rosengarten. They got him in the draft. I love that pick. I think that was an excellent pick. They got him in the second. And that's really great. And then going on defense, they lost Mike McDonald, so I don't know. I'm not sure. It's really a mystery to me how they're gonna fare without Mike McDonald, because the Ravens have historically just always had good defenses, no matter what coordinator they have. So I think it'll definitely take a step back, but I don't think it's going to be bad necessarily. I think it'll still be pretty good. They did lose Geno Stone, which not that that's much of a loss, really. They got Bo Braid, who I think is equally as efficient as Geno Stone. They got TJ Tampa in the draft. I never loved him. A lot of people were high on him. I wasn't one of those people. So maybe he'll show up at some point in the game tonight. I'm looking forward to that, but I don't know. They got Nate Wiggins. That was their first pick, I believe. And another guy I wasn't super high on, but I'm looking forward to see what both him and TJ Tampa can do in this first game. I'm not putting my faith in Nate Wiggins. Excuse me. I'm not putting my faith in Nate Wiggins. I never loved him. I mean, he's a toolsy guy. Definitely just needs some development. And I think who's their guy? Who's the guy they have as their DC now? It's Orr, right? I think they have Orr as their DC. I need to look this up. I think it's Orr. But can you show me who it is? Zach Orr. Yes, it is Orr. But I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think he's more of a linebacker guy as well, as was Mike McDonald. So I'm not sure if he's the developmental coach to really, help Nate Wiggins out here. I don't think Nate Wiggins should be like an immediate starter, which he's not going to be. They have Marlon Humphrey and Brandon Stevens. He shouldn't be there, but I think he'll be an essential rotation piece kind of on that defense. And I don't know. I think he's just very raw. He has the tools, the traits, but he's very raw. So I don't know if putting him out there right away is going to work for them, but we'll have to see. But overall, I like this Ravens team. I think they are definitely playoff ready again. I think they could go back. But really, I'm not super high on them. But again, last year, I didn't even pick them to make the playoffs. I did not believe in this team. And they proved me wrong. So they could prove me wrong again. And Ravens have shown there's a history. Ravens go to the Super Bowl every 12 years. They went in 2000. They went in 2012. They could go back again. It's 2024. We'll see. I don't believe in them that much, but we'll see. Now let's go over a look at the Chiefs, although clearly it doesn't matter what the Chiefs roster looks like because they can win no matter what. Doesn't matter. So Mahomes, obviously, you got Carson Wentz, solid backup. But they did get Carson Steele, which I hate Guy out of UCLA, I loved Carson Steele. He's a really good player. And they're just able to get these late round guys that are just going to tear it up in the NFL. And that's what I think Carson Steele is going to be. He's going to be another Isaiah Pacheco, which I think is spelled wrong there. This is it's Isaiah is usually AIA, right? And there's only one A. I don't know. Maybe he spells his name differently. They got Samaje Perine. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster, which, I mean, I don't know why he's back here when Xavier Worthy is listed as a starter. I don't agree with that. I don't think Xavier Worthy should start. I think he's a John Ross type situation. I don't think he's good for them. I think it was a really shit pick overall. But you know what? We'll see. The Chiefs will make it work because the Chiefs always make it work. But Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown are two good receivers to have here. I think Justin Watson and Juju should be wide receiver 3 over Xavier. But I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But they do have a solid receiving core without Kadarius Toney, as long as their hands actually work. I think this could be a good team. They did get a new starting left tackle in the draft in Kingsley Suamataia, which he's all right. I think he was a bit overhyped in the draft process, but he is a good left tackle. I would have liked if he sat a bit. I don't love throwing him out there, especially against this Ravens pass rush. I don't love that. But we'll see if he can, handle his own. They have Wanya Morris backing him up. Not that that means anything. They got Hunter Nourzad, the Penn State cat. I loved him coming out of the draft, and I really wanted him for the Seahawks. They got Ethan Driscoll, another tackle out of, was it Boise State? No, maybe not Boise State. Let me know. It was Ethan Driscoll out of, it was a smaller school. CJ Hansen out of Holy Cross. They did get a lot of their offensive line in this draft. So I think they're really hoping that their offensive line can stay healthy, because right here, this is very unpolished depth on their offensive line. But they did get Jared Wiley, big tight end, 6'7" at a TCU. I really like this guy. I think he's a what's his name? The guy that the Steelers drafted, Washington. I think he's like Washington. He's just a big guy, probably gonna have some injury concerns, but if he can stay healthy, I think he could do really, really well in this league. And then Travis Kelce, of course, we know how he's going to do. On the defense, they lost L'Jarius Sneed, which is probably going to be a big hit for them. And look at the lack of depth here in their secondary, which I think if there's any reason the Chiefs are not going to be great this year, it's because of that depth along both the offensive line and their secondary. They lost L'Jarius Sneed, and they didn't really get anybody to come in. They got Jaden Hicks, which I've loved. I've always loved him. Washington State guy, Wazoo. But, he was, I believe he was the first safety taken in the draft, which I had him as the number 1 safety. I think I had Kalen Bullock at number 1, and then Jaden Hicks 2. Jaden Hicks, he's 6'2", so he's got good size. I think he could be a good rotational piece. But other than him, they really did not get any help here. And same with, look at their depth on the inside linebacker position is pretty thin. They have Drew Tranquil still, signed him. I believe last year they signed him from the Chargers. George Karlaftis, he's always been good. Pretty underrated guy. FAU still waiting for him to break out after his rookie season wasn't too great. BJ Thompson as well. Overall, I think this defense under Matt Nagy is probably going to look exactly like it did last year, except if they start to get some injuries piling up in the back 7, I think they're going to have some real problems down the stretch here. So let's go back here. Isaiah Thomas spells it. Yeah, that's interesting. You don't trust that he could do enough with that O-line. Darnell Washington. I need to see Ethan Driscoll out of North Dakota, I'm going to say. Let's see if I'm right. Marshall. Fuck. Nah, that's too bad. Marshall Thundering Herd. I was off. It was not North Dakota. Oh, fuck, I closed ESPN, damn it. Okay. All right. So looking at this, I do think that the Chiefs are going to take this probably. Chiefs at home, season opener. It's going to be packed. It's going to be loud. And, again, with, really, Lamar Jackson, I think he could do well. It's just he doesn't have the receivers. I don't love the receivers, and I think Matt Nagy has a really good defense. We saw it last year in the playoffs. The last game the Ravens have played, the Chiefs just completely shut them down, and I think it could continue here. And now the Ravens have lost part of their pieces on defense, Patrick Queen, Geno Stone. So I think Mahomes is going to come out on fire, and I do think that the Chiefs are going to take the first game here. And again, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs have shown that they don't have to come out strong. They've shown that they don't have to be great in the regular season because they will still win it all. Now, Patriots, Bengals is next here. Let's look at these guys. Let's take a look-see. Should we look at the Bengals or the Patriots? I'll look at the Patriots first. Let's check out their depth chart. They are carrying 3 quarterbacks on roster, which is interesting. Jacoby Brissett was named starter, even though Gerard Mayo came out and said that Drake May outplayed Jacoby Brissett in preseason and training camp, and then he said that Jacoby Brissett got the job because it gave them the best chance to win. So don't understand that. I understand sitting your rookie quarterback because you don't want him to get manhandled behind that makeshift offensive line that features City Sow as the starting left guard who is going to be injured and not playing this game, I believe. I understand it. I'm a big supporter of sitting the rookie quarterback for a year. A lot of people hate it, but I really like it. Just don't make those excuses. Don't say he outplayed him and then say your best chance to win is Jacoby Brissett. Don't say that. And then you have Joe Milton III, which honestly, what do you think? Do you think if Jacoby Brissett gets injured, game one, Jacoby Brissett gets injured, do you think they're throwing Drake May out there, or do you think they're throwing Joe Milton out there? I think they're going to put Joe Milton out there, honestly. If Jacoby Brissett gets hurt, I think Joe Milton, at this point, gives them a better chance to win. The way he can move with his legs and his arm talent, I think, better reflects the play calling and play style of Jacoby Brissett. So if they are mid-game and Jacoby Brissett goes down, they have this whole playbook dialed up specifically for Jacoby Brissett. I think Joe Milton is the guy that could best replicate a Jacoby Brissett type of game rather than Drake May. But, this has, that's not important. They got a couple new receivers, Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. 2 guys they got in the draft. I love Jalen Polk. I'm very excited to see how he does. They got KJ Osborne from the Vikings. Tyquan Thornton, they've had him for a couple years. Kayshon Boutte, they got last year's draft, which he was touted to be like a top 16 pick in the beginning of the college season, then just fell off because of, personality concerns and stuff. So still waiting for him to live up to that kind of pedigree that he had in the beginning of the 2022 college football season. But not sure. They got Jaheim Bell, Florida State guy. He's a decent tight end. I like that they added him on there. Austin Hooper is going to be good too. But Hunter Henry is still their number one. He was last year, and he was pretty good. They got Antonio Gibson. They signed him, which Antonio Gibson, I've never really loved Antonio Gibson. I think Ramondre Stevenson is definitely better. And they got Jamichael Hasty from the Jags, I believe. He was a free agent off the Jags. I know it's probably Jamichael is how it's pronounced, but it's so much more fun to pronounce it Jamichael. It sounds like a fictional creature almost, a Jamichael. You know? Kind of sounds like Hanukkah, Jamichael. I like it. Jamichael Hasty. And then we look at their offensive line. They're kind of screwed here. They have City Sow, because Cole Strange is out. Cole Strange is done. He's out. And then City Sow is supposed to be their starting left guard now. He's injured, I believe, too. Let's look at the injuries here on this list. They have Christian Barmore is out. He has blood clots. It's very, very concerning. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to... Okay, I'm getting viruses here. But Christian Barmore is out. He has blood clots. That's scary stuff, man. That is scary. That can, cost players their careers. Blood clots, that's not good. That's how Bosch had to retire because of blood clots. Just not good. So Christian Barmore is out. Oh my God. Okay, so warning, I guess. Don't go to the injury page on the Patriots fucking ESPN, I guess. Wow. Xfinity really wants to fucking work their way in when you're just trying to talk about blood clots, I guess. That's very strange. Very strange that the injuries page on the Patriots ESPN website is trying to get me to invest in Xfinity. Very strange. But, anywho, they have Layden Robinson, I believe, out of Texas Tech, starting at right guard. It's rough. This Bengals team could just absolutely destroy them. I wouldn't be surprised. And yeah, overall, just a makeshift offensive line in week one. It's not looking great for them. You go to their defense. They have Keon White, waiting for him to break out. They have Josh Uche. Still nice. They grabbed Christian Ellis in the draft. Sione Takitaki. Curtis Jacobs. And then, they have Christian Gonzalez coming back off that horrible injury last year. Hoping that he can continue where he left off, be a really good piece. Marte Mapu, who is kind of their hybrid linebacker, strong safety, even though he's listed as free safety here. He's on IR, unfortunately. Marcellus Dial is decent quarterback. He has some high upside. He's a lengthy dude. He's a lengthy dude. Got some speed. So I think he could honestly be a sleeper on this team. But overall, Patriots, I don't know. I don't love them. Their defense should be fine, but their offensive line is really, really concerning. And if they have to throw Drake May out there at all this season, I don't know if they'll win a single game. So, moving on to the Bengals. Depth chart. All right. So Joe Burr hoping to come back from that injury. They have Zach Moss is the running back with Chase Brown backing him up. They got Jermaine Burton here, who I like. I like Jermaine Burton. I think he'll actually be better at wide receiver 3 than Andre Yoshivas. So I like Jermaine Burton here. I think he's a good pick, and I think they have a pretty good top 3 wide receiver room, especially with, Jamar. Still hasn't gotten paid. He could sit out the first game, honestly. He could do a Chris Jones type thing, sit out the first game, and that would very much hurt them. They have Mike Gesicki, got him from the Dolphins. They have Eric All Jr., Iowa guy that they picked up. Iowa tight end. You got to, I guess, put your faith in that. They got Amarius Mims, who, of course, is questionable. I mean, they knew that when they drafted him, that he was, injury prone. Not going to happen. They have McKinley Jackson on IR, another guy they drafted this year. Chris Jenkins Jr., another draft pick, questionable. Miles Murphy, who they picked up in a couple drafts ago, also on IR. So their young players are not looking good. They got Cedric Johnson, I believe, out of Wazoo. Could be wrong, but he was a late round pick. If he might be a UDFA, honestly. No, he was a 6th round pick. Oh, Ole Miss. I'm thinking of someone else, I think, then. But yeah, he was a late pick. And then they got Geno Stone, signed Geno Stone from the Ravens. They got DJ Turner here, Dijon Anthony, who I liked, especially as a special team guy. I think he'll be really good. So overall, with Logan Wilson, Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, and they have Sheldon Rankins, I think they'll be pretty good. Defensively, I think they'll be pretty good. They'll definitely have a good pass rush. I'm pretty confident in their secondary, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket. And their offense, if Jamar Chase sits out week 1, that could really, really hurt them. Because then you got T. Higgins lining up with probably Christian Gonzalez. And the Patriots pass rush, even without Christian Barmore, I think they could really attack the middle, the interior of this offensive line. Because really, their depth is not great. If Matt Lee has to play any snaps, I think it's safe to say the Bengals are screwed. So I'm actually going to go with a shocker here. I'm picking the Patriots. The Bengals, historically, will start off like 0-1 or 0-2. And especially if this could be a big storyline if Jamar Chase holds out for a game similar to what happened with Chris Jones. He sat out and then they lost by 1 point in the opener. And it was probably because he didn't play. And so I think Jamar could sit out this first game waiting for a contract, and he could be rooting for the Bengals to lose, honestly, so that he gets paid. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. I am going to pick the Patriots to get this. Rich Homie Quan died. I have no idea who that is. I mean, that sucks when anybody dies, but I don't know. I don't know who that is, unfortunately. Moving on to the Jags and Dolphins. Let's look at the Dolphins first. So, Tua stayed healthy all year last year. Look at the amount of people they have on IR. Oh my God. They have 8 players on IR to start the season. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. I didn't realize they were that hurt. You know Lifestyle by Young Thug? No, I don't. Nope. I don't know if I've ever listened to a Young Thug song. But anyway. Yeah, wow. Taj Washington, too. Rookie, USC guy. Odell Beckham Jr. is out for the first game. Malik Washington, questionable. They could be in some trouble here. They got Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. That'll really bolster their running back room. It could be really powerful. Jonnu Smith, I like him. Teron Armstead, if he stays healthy, and Aaron Brewer, we don't know if they're going to be able to stay healthy, which is why they went out and they got Patrick Paul, just in case Teron Armstead, doesn't stay healthy. They got Patrick Paul to come in, and he's actually a good backup. I think he could blossom into a solid starter in this league. And defense, I think they're going to take a step back defensively. They lost Christian Wilkins. He was their best defensive player. And everybody is just hurt. Bradley Chubb is out. They got Muhammad Kamara. I love Muhammad Kamara. Love him. So I really like him. I think he could be really good for them. They got Jordan Brooks in the offseason. Jordan Poyer, they sniped from the Bills. They got Storm Duck, Mr. Storm Duck. But overall, I think they will, take a step back. They obviously got Chop Robinson, their first-round pick, which was a bad first-round pick. I don't like him. He is just a DPR. He's not going to help you in run defense at all. And after losing Christian Wilkins, you really needed somebody to come in and help with run defense, and Chop Robinson was the last thing you needed. So I definitely think their defense is not going to be great this season. But their offense is probably going to be pretty damn explosive as long as Tua has some time to throw. So I think the Dolphins will be kind of middle of the pack. I'll never fully believe in the Dolphins because they always seem to collapse late in the season. December Dolphins are just not a team that you could put your faith in. And then we go to the Jaguars, which here they got Mac Jones, really good backup quarterback. They got Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr. I like both of those. I love the signing of Gabe Davis. I think he's a great compliment to Christian Kirk. And Brian Thomas Jr., that's a really good pick. They still have Parker Washington, who I like. They got Devin Duvernay, who should be returning kicks. Yes, he is, even though Parker Washington was pretty damn good at it last year. Evan Ingram, I think, is due for another good season. I like him. They got Javon Foster, who I like. It looks like they have little to no depth on the interior of the offensive line, which could really, really damage them. I don't love that for them. But they got Jordan Jefferson and Mason Smith. These are two guys. Mason Smith out of LSU, Jordan Jefferson out of LSU. Okay. So they did get both the LSU guys. I couldn't remember if they were both the LSU guys. They got Yasir Abdullah, pass rusher. Darnell Savage, he's a nice guy to have there. Jerrion Jones, never been a huge believer in him, but I do like Antonio Johnson here. I think he'll be pretty good for them. But overall, I think this defense is going to be led by Josh Hines Allen, as to be expected. They got Eric Armstead. I like him. They'll have a good defensive line. I'm not sure about their back seven. I don't love their room specifically because of depth. But I think if they can stay healthy, no injuries across the secondary, I think this will be a pretty good team that has the potential to have a good defense. It has the potential. I'm not going to say that they're going to have a good defense. But I think, looking at this game, I think the Dolphins are just going to be too much for the Jags to handle. I could definitely see the Jags winning with the Dolphins not having a great offensive line if somebody goes down. And the Jags have a really strong pass rush, so I could see Tua taking like 8 sacks in this game, and the Jags just mollywomping the Dolphins. But I think the Dolphins have a lot of speed that the Jags are just not going to be able to keep up with, so I am going with the Dolphins to get this win here. Now, we're going to Texans Colts here. Let's take a look. Texans, I don't know how to feel about the Texans. I mean, everybody's hyping them up, reasonably so, but everybody is hyping them up, thinking that they're going to be, the greatest Texans team since J.J. Watt was there, and I don't know. I don't see that happening because, yes, they added a lot of pieces. They should be better. They should be better this year than they were last year, but I don't know if their record will be better. Because, you look at them last year, they had 0 primetime games. They had the easiest schedule in the league. And, of course, they had the easiest schedule in the league, so you'd expect them to win a few games. They made the playoffs. No primetime games. 0. 0 primetime games. And then the 2 times they played in primetime, of course, they beat the Browns in the playoffs. But they also lost to the Ravens. So, I don't know. We haven't seen this team, in the bright lights and under pressure, really. We haven't seen this team on primetime football. And they have quite a few primetime games this year. We'll see how they handle it. And their schedule is a lot harder this year. So I'm not a huge believer that the Texans are like the front runner, guaranteed AFC South winner. I like them. I like their team overall. But I don't think that it's a guaranteed AFC South champion. I just don't. Because I truly believe that the AFC South has the potential to be the toughest division in the league this year. Because I love the Jags. We just talked about that. I love this Texans team. The Colts have a lot of potential. I think their offense could be really explosive with AR-15 using his legs. Could kind of be like a Lamar Jackson type offense. And then you look at the Titans, who everybody's counting out. I like the Titans. I think they could have 9 wins this year. I think they could be a good team. I like Will Levis. They're kind of honestly building an Avengers team. Their defense is not great, but their offense is really explosive. And this entire AFC South, you look at them, and they're just filled with explosive offenses. And I think that these teams could go out and just light the league on fire. All of these teams in the AFC South. And it's going to be fun to watch. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the Texans have a guaranteed division here. I really don't. I think this could be the new AFC North. Truly. Which is a crazy thing to say. And most people think I'm crazy when I talk about this. But I think the AFC South could be the toughest division in the league this year. And I'm putting my name on that. I want people to remember that I said that. That came from my heart. Nobody else has said that ever. Nobody has ever said that the AFC South is going to be the toughest division this year. Nobody has ever said that. But let's go around. Let's take a gander. AFC North, Steelers got worse. Cam Hayward is not playing for the first part. Browns got worse. They lost Joe Flacco. I don't believe in them. They don't have a quarterback. Ravens probably got worse. They lost Patrick Queen, lost Geno Stone, lost Mike McDonald, lost their running backs. And then Bengals probably didn't get worse because Joe Burrow will be healthier. But they lost their offensive coordinator. Will they be the same without Brian Callahan calling the plays? And then, AFC East, I don't like any. I've been struggling for weeks on picking who I think is going to win that division because I don't like anybody in the East. I obviously don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Jets. I will never, ever be a believer in the Jets. Until they prove that they can make the playoffs, I will never believe in them. Never. And even when we saw Aaron Rodgers last year, granted it was 4 plays, even when we saw him, he wasn't accurate. He was, slinging the ball over receivers' heads. He looked uncomfortable out there. He looked like an old man. He looked, last year, in the few snaps we saw him, he looked rusty. And now he's gone a full another year without playing football, behind an offensive line that has not really improved. So, I don't know. Yes, they improved the offensive line. They got young guys, but they also have some old guys that are injury prone, like Tyron Smith. I don't know. I don't trust that offensive line. I don't really trust that team. And while I do like the defense, even though Hassan Reddick is sitting out, I do like their defense, but I think Robert Saleh is 6 bad games away from losing his job. And so I'm not going to put my money on the Jets. I won't do it. And the Bills, sure, they lost Stephon Diggs, which you could look at as a negative, or it could be addition by subtraction, really, because Stephon Diggs did absolutely nothing for the last 10 games of the season last year. He was really just a distraction, But the Bills lost a lot on defense. Matt Milano's out for the season again. They lost Tyrell Dotson, who was the stud that, shined when they needed him last year. And I don't know. They got Keon Coleman, but I don't trust that team, and I will never trust. It's just like the Jets. Until the Bills prove to me that they can have a running game outside of Josh Allen, I will never believe that they can have a run game, because they have never had a run game with actual running backs. It just does not work. Since O.J. Simpson, the Bills have not had a good running game. And I don't believe in that team. And the Dolphins, I talked about it. They have an explosive offense. So many injuries, though, and their defense will be exponentially worse. I don't like the AFC East. And then we turn over to the AFC West. Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs. Chargers will take a step forward, I hope, behind Jim Harbaugh. Raiders defense is probably going to be, average, I would say. I wouldn't say, people are saying that the Raiders defense is going to be great. I'm not even close to there yet. I think it'll be average. It won't be piss poor like it has been in the past. And the Broncos, I don't think Sean Payton's a good coach. He's never been the coach of a team that didn't have a star quarterback. And he's supposed to be this development guy that's really good at developing QBs. We'll see with Bo Nix. Maybe he's not, because he's just throwing him out there in Seattle, the loudest stadium in the league, the loudest fans in the league, against a defense with an insane pass rush, coached by the best defensive coordinator in the league last year. So I'm not sure he is, because why would he want to put him out there and ruin his confidence? I don't understand it. We'll talk about that later. And I will talk about it for a while. But let me check on make sure it's working. Okay. But anywho, I think the AFC South will be the best division in the league. And then you got the NFC West, which could be as well. But it could be the NFC North, maybe. I don't know. But right now it's between NFC North, AFC South, NFC West. We'll have to wait and see and decide. And NFC East, don't get me started. And NFC South, are you kidding me? All right. Texans, they got Joe Mixon. That was a long rambling. Jesus. That was a long rambling. And they got Joe Mixon, which they signed him in free agency and then traded for him. It was fucking weird. They got Stephon Diggs, which I like that signing for them. They got Cade Stover and re-signed Dalton Schultz, which is really good. Really good 1-2 punch for their tight ends there. They got Jarrett Patterson and Blake Fisher, two guys I like. Ladarius Henderson as well, but he's out. They signed Mario Edwards Jr. I like that signing for them. I think he's a pretty underrated guy. Danico Autry is suspended, so that's not great for them to start the season, but they have Daniil Hunter across from Will Anderson, so that's a really, really powerful pass rush group. Azeez Al-Shaair was a good signing from the Titans. I've always liked Azeez. Jesus Christ. I think I'm having a stroke today, honestly. Azeez Al-Shaair. I've always liked him, and it always pisses me off over, broadcasts and stuff when announcers will pronounce his name Azeez Al-Shaair. It really bothers me a lot. It's not Azeez Al-Shaair. It's Azeez Al-Shaair. It bothers me so much when they say Al-Shaair. It really does. It's not. It's Azeez Al-Shaair. Please start doing it right. And then we have Derek Stingley, who's always been good. Kamari Lassiter, who they have listed as a starter here. I would definitely start Jeff Okudah over him. He's experienced. Kamari Lassiter is a rookie. I don't love that. Kalen Bullock, though, my top safety in the class. I really love him. That was a really good pickup by them. So overall, I think it's a good team with a really talented roster. And honestly, they could have 13 wins this season, but also we haven't seen them against a really hard schedule. We haven't seen them in prime time. So I'm undecided on this team, really. And then we got the Colts. Let's look at the Colts, another team that I think is poised to have a good season. AR-15, they're keeping Sam Ehlinger on the roster, which is very interesting. I mean, they know AR-15 is injury prone. We have a Jonathan Taylor fully healthy contract year. I think Jonathan Taylor could rush for over 1,000 yards easily. They have Trey Sermon, guy that never really worked out for he played for the Niners, right? Never really worked out for them. They have Michael Pittman, Josh Downs at a UNC rookie from last year, sophomore this year, of course. A.D. Mitchell, diabetic dude, but I like him. They got Anthony Gould as well, and they still have Alec Pierce. I like their receiver room. I think it's really underrated. Nobody's talking about it. I like it, though. And then here, for some reason, Kylan Granson is listed as the tight end one, when really it should be Mo Alley Cox. Mo Alley Cox has proven that he is a tight end one. I like him. Right here, they have Matt Goncalves at a Pitt. I liked him, and Tanner Bortolini is a really good, should be center, but he can, flex around. Blake Freeland is another good guy. I think their offensive line will be really good, especially, they have Quentin Nelson. I like Bernard Ryman. And looking at their defense, they have a good defense. They've always kind of had a pretty good roster on defense. DeForest Buckner, of course. They got Leatu Latu, first defensive player off the board, which I don't think he deserves. He deserved to be the first player. He has chronic neck issues. But he is a powerful pass rusher. They have Adetomiwa Adebawore, a guy that every time I talk about him, I get upset because I watched the Seahawks pass on him twice when he was falling. So far, I had him as a second-round pick in that draft, and the Seahawks passed on him in the third round when they traded back to the fourth, and then he was there, and then, nope, he got sniped. So, and then we had to settle for Anthony Bradford or Cam Young, one of the two of those. But I've always liked Adetomiwa Adebawore. I think he should be a good rotational piece for them. I like Julian Blackman, and I like Kenny Moore. I think they lost Stephon Gilmore, which I think, losing a veteran like that, it's going to hurt. But I think their defense will be pretty good, especially in the front seven. I like them a lot. So this team looks good. They have a lot of potential. And I have been battling with this matchup. It's really hard because Colts are at home. I want to pick the Colts to win. I really do. I think, Texans are getting overhyped, and I think the Colts could come out there and say, hey, Texans are not the big dogs in the South. But I'm not sure because the Colts do not win week 1. The Colts don't. They don't win week 1. It's proven. We know this. They don't win week 1. So it's very hard for me to choose this. I am going to go with the Texans, but it is a very hard decision for me to make. This is probably one of the hardest games to pick for me. I am going to go Texans, though, overall, just because I think the roster is a lot more talented, and they have really good coaching. But, Shane Steichen could dial some stuff up to, put the Texans defense on its heels. All right, Raiders-Chargers is another one I've been thinking a lot about. And, it's possible. Antonio Pierce made this defense really, really good last year. And I don't believe it's going to be really, really good this year. But why? Why don't I believe that? He made it great last year. Why don't I believe he'll make it good this year? I don't know. But they have Gardner Minshew as their starting quarterback, who I'm not going to, love that. They have AOC as their backup. AOC, the quarterback, not the politician. Zamir White is their starter, which I don't love. Dylan Laube I like. Is he out of North Dakota State? Let's check. New Hampshire, right. Who came out of North Dakota State? Please. Oh my God, with the damn Xfinity again. Jesus. I don't want Xfinity. That should be settled. But Amir Abdullah, I like. I've always liked him. They have Brock Bowers was their first round pick. I'm really excited to see what he can do. And they have a good receiving crew. They have Devontae Adams, who's definitely fallen off a bit since going to the Raiders. Reasonably so. I don't love their offensive line, but they did get Jackson Powers-Johnson, who I think is a really good pick. And then defense, of course, they got Christian Wilkins, and they have Max Crosby. So this, oh my fucking God, with this damn Xfinity thing, I definitely got a virus somewhere, because the fact that this keeps popping up, it's pissing me off. I don't want Xfinity. I don't. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's ESPN. So now we know ESPN is trying to virus your computer up. So don't use ESPN. This is a fair warning. Don't use ESPN because they're trying to fuck you up. But we might honestly have to just go to the individual team websites because, see, this has never happened to me. And I haven't used ESPN in several months. So it's definitely ESPN that's fucking up. So I don't know. Oh my God, ESPN, get some fucking Pat McAfee. Fucking antivirus software. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. Pat McAfee. Get it. Get it, man. Jesus. I have it. I'm good. I'm in the clear. I have fucking Pat McAfee virus protection. I'm good. Clearly, ESPN is not good. Honestly, it's only when I go onto the shitty teams, though. You notice that? You notice how it's when I go onto the shitty teams? You notice that? The Raiders, the Patriots. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting, if you know what I mean. All right, I'm just going to load it up on my phone, so you won't be able to see it, but that's all right. Let's pull it up. ESPN on my phone. Imagine it pops up on my phone. How funny would that be? Should I start Tank Dell or Jaden Reed at flex? Tank Dell, I would say. I don't love Jaden Reed. I don't love any of the Packers receivers against this revamped Eagles secondary. They got that's crazy. Cooper DeJean. They got the cornerback in the first round, Quinyon Mitchell. And even if you had Christian Watson, I wouldn't start him. But definitely don't start Jaden Reed. I don't love any of the Packers receivers in this week. I do like Josh Jacobs. I think, Packers could get the run game going, but I would definitely start Tank Dell over Jaden Reed in PPR. All right. So let's pull up NFL. And we are looking at the Raiders. I'm actually going to move over to the Chargers here. All right. So Chargers have Herb, of course. They have Taylor Heineke as their backup. They traded for him, which I really like. They got J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards in the offseason. And they got Kamani Vidal, who I like. I think he could be pretty damn good. They got DJ Chark. Quentin Johnson needs to hold on the ball. They got Ladd McConkey as a rookie, which I have high hopes for him. They also got Brendan Rice at a USC, so I like him. They signed Will Dissly, Hayden Hurst, two tight ends that I really like. And their offensive line should be pretty good. They got Joe Alt in the fifth overall pick. They signed Poona Ford. They have Scott Matlock at lock. I said that very Boston. Matlock at fullback now, which is so crazy. They got Junior Colson, Michigan linebacker. Really like him. Tuitua Pelotu was good last year. He should have a breakout sophomore year. Christian Fulton they got from the Titans, and I like him. They really revamped this team overall. And Elijah Molden as well. So I like this Chargers team, and I believe in this Chargers team. I think if the Raiders do have that really good defense, especially adding Christian Wilkins, I think this could be a tough game for the Chargers, but I don't believe in the Raiders. I'm not going to believe in their defense. I'm going with the Chargers to get this win. Now, the Titans and the Bears, this is tough because the Bears have a really good defense and a good roster. And they have Caleb Williams, who's very promising. But you look at the history, a number one overall QB has not won in week one since 2002, David Carr with the Texans. And you look at it, just any rookie QB at all that starts week one, a rookie QB has not won in week one since 2017 or 2018, Sam Darnold. That's 6 years ago. And rookie QBs in their first start since 2000 are 14-78, I believe. So history is not with the Bears here. It could happen, but history is not with the Bears here. Now, the Titans, I've already said, I think they could be a super team. They've kind of been assembling the Avengers, at least on offense. They got Calvin Ridley, still have D-Hop. Treylon Burks sucks. But they got, let me check on the roster here. Tennessee Titans. Tyler Boyd, that's who they signed. That's the other guy they signed, Tyler Boyd. But Tyler Boyd, D-Hop, and Calvin Ridley, I mean, that's amazing right there. I love that. They got Jaquan Jackson as well, who looked really good in preseason. They got Tavondre Sweat, but it looks like he might be injured right now, so I'm not sure what his status is. And they got L'Jarius Sneed. They got Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs from the Seahawks, free agents, which under different coaching, they could be good. They could be good, no idea. But I am going to go with the Titans to get this win. I like the Titans here, and, that's just how it goes. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because we've been streaming for a full hour, and we are not halfway through week 1. So, yeah. Falcons, Steelers. I don't trust in the Steelers. I think this might actually be Mike Tomlin's first losing season, and he might get fired. Falcons, I think, are going to be pretty good. I'm not in love with their team. I think they could be pretty good, but I am going to pick the Falcons to get this win. I think their defense should be able to, stop Russ and the Steelers. Cardinals, Bills. Now this one, Bills historically struggle in week 1. And the Cardinals and Bills is always a fun matchup, and the Cardinals are on the up and coming. And I like the Cardinals this year. I like their team. I think their expectation should be 7 to 8 wins. And they could, if they get 1 or 2 more than that, they could be sniffing the playoffs. So I am going to go with the Cardinals here because the Bills do struggle in week 1. We'll save Seahawks for last because I'll talk about that. Browns, Cowboys. This one is also tough. I think this is going to be a very messy game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. It's very hard to pick. I have been leaning Browns because I don't like the Cowboys this year. I think the Cowboys could miss the playoffs. They did nothing in free agency. I didn't love their draft. And, looking at their team, name me, anybody watching, I think there's 0. Name me one wide receiver on the Cowboys not named CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Cooks. You can't. You can't. Unless you're a Cowboys fan, you can't. They have nobody. I genuinely, right now, I have no idea. I need to check because genuinely, I don't know who they have. That's not CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. So let's check. They have Jalen Brooks, Ryan Flournoy, Jalen Tolbert, and KaVontae Turpin. KaVontae Turpin is their wide receiver 3. Come on. No. Nope. I'm good. I'm good on that. So, I don't love the Cowboys this year. And their corner is going to be out, the one with that had all the picks last year. That's crazy that I'm forgetting his name. But he's going to be out for at least 8 weeks, I believe. So let's see. I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe so. Deron Bland, he is out. So I don't know. I am going with the Browns here. I don't love either of these teams this year. I think they're both middle of the pack, but I especially don't love the Cowboys starting out here. Niners, Jets. Niners figured out Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk. And Jets, I talked about it. Their offensive line, I don't believe in them. Now, it's possible. I was thinking if Trent Williams doesn't play, the Jets have a good shot at winning because that pass rush will just destroy Brock Purdy. But I don't believe in them now. Trent Williams is back. and Hassan Reddick isn't playing. So I'm going with the Niners to just destroy Aaron Rodgers there. Packers, Eagles. This one's also tough. I think the Eagles could run all over the Packers, but I think the Packers could run all over the Eagles. It's hard for me to decide. And the Eagles revamped their secondary. I mean, so did the Packers. They got Xavier McKinney. So I like both these teams. I am going to go with the Packers to get a win in Brazil. And then Saints, Panthers. I am going to go with the Saints here because this is tough for me to pick either team, but Dennis Allen is a defensive coach, so I think the Saints will have a decent defense, at least average, and I think he'll be able to get after Bryce Young. So I do like the Saints here, but it's tough for me to pick one of those teams. Now, Vikings, Giants, this one's also tough because people are looking at the Vikings and saying, look, they have Sam Darnold. They suck, but then they're still taking them over the Giants. I don't hate the Giants that bad. The Giants' offensive line sucks, but they're not that bad. I'm taking the Giants to get this win. I don't hate the Giants this season. They could have 7-8 wins. I don't hate them. I really don't hate them, and I think they'll be all right. You know, they're not going to be a playoff team, but I think they'll be all right. Now, Buccaneers, Commanders. This one is interesting because, again, rookie QBs tend to not win their first start, especially in week 1. And Buccaneers, they added some pieces, and they didn't lose anybody. And honestly, I said it. I've been saying that I don't think the Buccaneers will be good this year, but I'm second-guessing myself, honestly, because I thought Baker Mayfield was going to regress. I'm not so sure. I'm really not sure. I think the Bucs could actually be decent this year. Everybody seems to have forgotten about them because everybody wants to put their faith in the Falcons. I like the Bucs here to get this win. Now, Lions, Rams. Lions are going to be good, of course, but Rams should be good. They should be good. But the thing is, the Rams, if Matt Stafford gets injured, they're done. The Rams are always a Matt Stafford injury away from being done for the season. And Matt Stafford is injury prone. I think he might retire after this year. So I am going to go with the Rams to get this win. But if Matt Stafford gets injured at all, I think it's game over for the Rams. Now, Seahawks, Broncos. This one, I said it before, Bo Nix going into Seattle, loudest stadium. This is going to be a rough environment for Bo Nix, and I like our odds here. You look at it. What is Sean Payton going to do? I think looking into this game, he doesn't want to shatter his quarterback's confidence in game 1. He's not going to... Bo Nix, he's going to take what he's given. And that's what Sean Payton is going to scheme up for him. And I think we are going to see a lot of 5-yard completions, a lot of screens, a lot of handoffs. And I think they're just going to try to beat us with long drives, slowly moving the ball. And I like our odds at that. I think in the first, it's going to be an adjustment for Sean Payton at the half. He has to decide what he wants to do because I think Mike is going to dial some stuff up. I think, if Bo Nix is doing quick passes, throwing short, if we know what they're doing, if it's a pattern, if we know what they're doing, if they're only taking quick stuff, only taking the stuff that gets open real fast, there's going to be some opportunities to have 1 or 2 picks in this game because you could jump the route quick. He's snapping the ball and then throwing it. You know what he's going to do because he's not going to throw more than I think Bo Nix will have 2 or 3 attempts over 15 yards in this game. And that could be an adjustment. If we have 1 or 2 interceptions in the first half, this is a halftime adjustment that Sean Payton needs to say, okay, if they're down, say they're down even in the second quarter, say they're down 10 points or 2 touchdowns. Does Sean Payton, in his head, he goes, I could, do I have Bo Nix keep doing what he's doing and just try to take what's there? Or do I try to have him dial it up, throw deep passes? Which could destroy your quarterback's confidence if you're trying to put the world on his shoulders and have him go out and win this game. So that's a decision that Sean Payton has to make. Are we going to put the pressure on our rookie quarterback to go out and win us this game? Or are we just going to have him do what he does best and take what the defense is giving him? Because Pete Carroll was all about not giving up the deep play, and that's why we saw constant 3rd and 15 conversions. Whereas Mike is not all about that. He's going to play to stop them short. So there could be opportunities in this game. There are going to be opportunities in this game for Bo Nix to hit a 30-yard pass downfield. There are going to be those opportunities. And the real decision that Sean Payton has to make is, do I let him do that? Do I let him try to go out and win us this game? Or do I have him do what he does best and take the short stuff? That's the decision, and that's the biggest question I have going into this game for the Broncos is, what is Sean Payton going to have Bo Nix do if they are losing? What are the adjustments going to be? Because we need to see them real time. Now, I think the Seahawks are going to get this win wearing the throwbacks. I like the odds, and I like Mike McDonald dialing some stuff up. MeUndies ad is popping up here. I like Mike McDonald dialing up some stuff against this rookie quarterback. I like it. So we're going into week 2 with the NFC West undefeated. I like it. All right. Now, we're going to speed it up here. We already talked about all these teams. We're speeding it up. So we got Dolphins, Bills. Again, I don't like either team. I am going to pick the Dolphins, though, because speedy, and I like them. Titans, Jets. This is another one. This defense, I think, could get after Will Levis, and I actually am going to pick the Jets, even though I'm not a believer. I am going to pick them to get that win. Jags, Browns. This one, I'm going to pick the Jags to get their first win here. Ravens, Raiders. This one is going to go to the Ravens because they're off that extra rest as well. Broncos, Steelers. This is interesting. I'm picking the Broncos right now, but you know what? This is a Russell Wilson revenge game, but also it's a Broncos revenge game. They could be like, fuck you. We paid you $250 million. Fuck you. I'm going with the Broncos here to get that win. And I am going to go with the Chiefs because Bengals notoriously get off to slow starts. Packers, Colts. I am going to go with the Packers to get this win here. Panthers, Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Seahawks, Pats. Give me the Seahawks. And then Bears, Texans. I will take the Texans here. Niners, Vikings. I'll take the Niners. Cowboys, Saints. I'm actually going to take the Saints on the road in this game. Giants, Commanders. Give me the Commanders. Jaden Daniels will get his first win. Lions, Buccaneers. I'm actually going to go with the Buccaneers in this game, and the Lions are going to start 0-2, and it's going to be Panic City in Detroit. Cardinals, Rams. I'm going Rams. And then Eagles, Falcons. This is a really intriguing matchup. I am going to go with the Eagles and their revamped secondary because, again, I don't love the Falcons here, but, All right. So, Jets, Patriots. I'm going to go with the Jets here. Steelers, Chargers. I'm actually going to go with the Chargers. Again, I don't like the Steelers. They could be the first overall pick, honestly. Bills, Jags. Jags always beat the Bills, so Jags are going to keep that streak going here. Titans-Packers is actually going to be an upset, and I'm going to pick the Titans to get that win there. Vikings-Texans, Danielle Hunter revenge game, I guess. I'm going with the Texans there. Colts-Bears. This is going to be a win for the Colts because, again, I don't love the Bears this season. Buccaneers-Broncos. I am going to go with the Broncos on the road here. I think they could be good. I think they could be good, just not week 1 against this Seattle defense. Browns-Giants, I am going to go with the Browns here. And then Seahawks-Dolphins, I think the Seahawks lose that one. Dolphins are very explosive, very speedy. I don't trust the Seahawks defense in that game. Raiders-Panthers, I am going to go with the Panthers to get a win here. I do think Bryce Young could actually be decent this year. I just don't love the roster around him. Cowboys-Ravens, I'm going with the Ravens. And Cowboys are 0-3 at this point in the season. Falcons-Chiefs, I am going to go with the Falcons to get an upset win. That defense is going to be all over Mahomes, and I am looking forward to see this game. That is going to be fun. And the Chiefs have yet another primetime game. Of course they do. Bengals, Commanders. This one's interesting here. And I think I'm going to go with the Commanders to beat the Bengals on Monday Night Football. Again, Bengals don't start off so hot. And I think Jaden Daniels could be good. And that defense could be pretty decent under Dan Quinn. Now we got Eagles-Saints. I'm going to go with the Eagles on the road to get that win. Niners-Rams. Niners always beat the Rams. Niners have the Rams number. Cardinals-Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions to get this win on the road here. All right. Texans-Jags. I am going to go with the Texans to get that win. Colts-Steelers. Give me the Colts. Jets-Broncos. Nathaniel Hackett revenge game. I think so. Jets are going to take this win. Chargers-Chiefs is a game I am so interested in because Jim Harbaugh has the chance to go in here and just shock the NFL. He could go into this game and completely shock the NFL and say the Chiefs are not the big dog. They're not the top dog in the AFC West anymore. I'm going to go with the Chargers to get an upset win over the Chiefs. Chargers are 4-0 to start the season here. Raiders-Browns. Give me the Raiders to get a win here. Their first win of the season. Ravens-Bills. This one, I am going to go with the Bills on an upset win. Bills started the season 0-3 in this scenario. And then Dolphins-Titans. Titans always beat the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins there. Bengals-Panthers. Give me the Bengals to get their first win of the season. Niners-Pats. Give me the Niners, who are 4-0 now. Cowboys-Giants. Cowboys are going to win that. Cowboys will always beat the Giants. Packers-Vikings. I'll take the Packers here. Bears-Rams. This one, I'm actually going to get the Bears to upset the Rams at home in Chicago. Bucks-Eagles rematch of the playoff game, and I'm going with the Bucks to get that win. I think they'll still have the Eagles number there. Falcons-Saints. Falcons hosting, and Falcons are going to win it. Cardinals versus Commanders. This is a really fun matchup, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals to get the win. This one could go either way, though. I will go with the Seahawks to get the win against the Lions because the Seahawks always beat the Lions, and now the Seahawks have a head coach who held the Lions to 6 points last year because of his defense. And he showed that when you give Jared Goff a little bit of pressure, he completely crumbles. Now, Texans-Bills. I am going to go with the Bills to get this win here. Revenge game on Stephon Diggs. Now, Jags-Colts. Jags. Colts are not going to win in Duval. Bengals-Ravens. This is a very good one, but Joe Burrow struggles against the AFC North. Lamar Jackson is, I believe, 5-2 against Joe Burrow. I'm going with the Ravens there. Patriots-Dolphins. Now, this is a good matchup. I will go with the Dolphins here. And Broncos-Raiders. Raiders. Broncos curse. It's going to be a 17-16 game with the Raiders winning it. Vikings-Jets. I am going to go with the Vikings to upset win here and get their first win of the season. Commanders, Browns. Commanders upset win over the Browns here. And Steelers, Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys to win that one. All right. Chiefs, Saints. I mean, that one's easy for me. Falcons, Bucks is a really intriguing matchup. And I do think that the Falcons are going to get after it and kind of beat up on the Bucks here at home on a short week. Bears, Panthers, number 1 overall pick versus number 1 overall pick. I'm going with the Bears here. Niners, Cards. Give me the Niners. Seahawks, Giants. I will go with the Seahawks at home here. I do like that matchup for the Seahawks. Rams hosting the Packers is a really fun matchup, and I will go with the Rams. That's a fun matchup that I'm excited to watch. Now the only undefeated teams are the Chargers and the Niners because the Chargers are on bye this week. Early bye for the Chargers. Now, Titans off a bye, hosting the Colts. I'm going to go with the Titans here to get this win. Patriots hosting the Texans. I'll go with the Patriots to get an upset win here over the Texans. Raiders will get a win over the Steelers. Broncos will lose to the Chargers coming off the bye. And the Jets, this is intriguing Monday Night Football. I think this could be another win for the Jets here. Bears hosting the Jaguars. This is interesting. Oh, somebody's in here. Hello. Bears hosting the Jags. This is interesting. I don't know, honestly. You know what? Bears defense, I'm going to say they get after it. I'm going with the Bears there. Ravens hosting the Commanders. I'll take the Ravens. Eagles off a bye are actually going to lose, upset loss to the Browns there. Giants hosting the Bengals. Bengals are going to take that one. Niners, Seahawks. I think Niners take that. 6-0 for the Niners here. Cardinals, Packers. I'm actually going to go with an upset. Cardinals over Packers. Saints, Bucks. I'm going to go with the Saints winning that one at home. Cowboys, Lions. Lions off a bye. I will go with the Lions to take that win. Bump up to 2-3. And Panthers hosting the Falcons. Panthers upset win at home because the NFC South doesn't make any sense. Jags hosting the Patriots. Jags take that one. Colts are actually going to upset win the Dolphins here coming off a bye. Bills, Titans. I'm going to go with the Titans here because they also have the Bills number. Browns hosting the Bengals here. Give me the Browns. Joe Burrow is 1-5 to the Browns. Joe Burrow's not going to beat the Browns. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. And the Bengals are 2-5. Ugh, look at that. Jets, Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers to get this upset win. I think that defense is going to give Aaron Rodgers some trouble. Saints hosting the Broncos. I'll take the Saints. Revenge game on Sean Payton. That's going to be a good one. Glad they put that in prime time. Green Bay Packers hosting the Texans. I will actually take the Packers to win this game here. I'm getting distracted. Hang on. All right. Rams off a bye are going to beat the Raiders here. Niners, this is a good matchup here. And why is this not a primetime game? Why is Chiefs-Niners not a primetime game? What? Why is that not a primetime game? All right, I don't know. But Niners hosting the Chiefs off a bye. I am going to go with the Niners to get that win there. Niners are 7-0, unfortunately. I hate it. But Bucks hosting the Ravens. I'll go with the Ravens there. Cardinals hosting the Chargers on Monday Night Football. One 8:15 game and one 9 p.m. game. I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals to ruin the Chargers' undefeated streak, sending them to 5-1. Vikings off a bye. Still going to lose to the Lions. And Falcons are going to win this game against the Seahawks, unfortunately. Eagles are going to take this one. And the Commanders are going to beat the Panthers in Week 7 here. Week 8. Let's go. Colts, Texans. I am going to go with the Texans to get that win. Texans in this scenario sweep the Colts. Browns, Ravens. Give me the Browns to get a win there. Patriots, Jets. I'm actually going to go upset win for the Patriots over the Jets. Raiders, Chiefs. Chiefs are going to take that one. And Jags are going to upset the Packers here. Dolphins hosting the Cardinals. I'm going with the Dolphins to get this win. Lions hosting the Titans. Give me the Lions. Seahawks hosting the Bills. I'm actually going to go with the Bills to get that win, even though the Bills in this scenario are 2-5. I'm going to go with the Bills to get that win there. Chargers, Saints. Give me the Chargers. All right. Broncos hosting the Panthers. I will take the Panthers to get that win. Bengals hosting the Eagles. This is actually going to be an upset. Bengals are going to take this one. And Steelers, Giants is going to go to the Giants. Giants. And Mike Tomlin fans are really worried there. All right, Rams hosting the Vikings. Give me the Rams. Bucks hosting the Falcons. I'll take the Bucks there. Commanders hosting the Bears off a bye. I'm going to go with the Bears to get an upset win there. And Niners hosting the Cowboys off a bye. Does not matter. Niners will win that one, advance to 8-0. It's too bad. Jets, Texans. I'll take the Texans there. I don't like the Jets. And Titans are going to win there. Bills, Dolphins. I'll have the Bills win at home. Bengals hosting the Raiders. That's going to be a Bengals win. Ravens will beat the Broncos here. And Browns will beat the Chargers at home. Another upset win there. Vikings off the bye are going to upset the Colts here. Although, is it really an upset? 2-6, 3-6? I don't know. Jaguars are going to lose to the Eagles here. Chiefs are actually going to lose to the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. And Chiefs are 4-4. Rough. Commanders are going to beat the Giants on the road. Cowboys are going to beat the Falcons in an upset win there. Panthers hosting the Saints. Panthers are going to take that because NFC South is just weird. That's how it goes. Cardinals are going to host the Bears and win. Seahawks are going to host the Rams and win. Packers are going to host the Lions and win. All right. Ravens, Bengals. Bengals are not going to win this game. I don't think they have a shot. Chiefs are winning that one, though. Colts, Bills is going to go to the Bills. Chargers, Titans is going to go to the Chargers. Bears, Patriots. I'm giving the Bears in that one. Commanders, Steelers off a bye is a very interesting one. I'm going to go with the Steelers upset there. Jags, Vikings. Give me the Jags. Cardinals, Jets. I'm actually going to go with a Cardinals upset over the Jets here. Which, honestly, the Cardinals' record is better. I'm not sure if it's an upset. Texans, Lions. Give me the Lions to get a win here. And Rams, Dolphins. I will take the Rams. Giants, Panthers. This is a shit show. 9:30 a.m. Oh, okay. I'll take the Panthers to get the international win there. Saints, Falcons. I will take the Falcons to take that one. Bucks, Niners. Bucks hosting the Niners. They're still not going to win. Niners are 9-0. Fuck. Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles. They're hosting. All right. Dolphins, Raiders. This is a fun game. This is always a fun matchup, and I like the Dolphins. Dolphins typically beat the Raiders there. Steelers hosting the Ravens. I'm going to go with the Steelers upset win there. We have Chargers hosting the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Chargers here, but it could go either way, honestly. Bills hosting the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs to get that win. And Jets hosting the Colts is going to go to the Colts. Titans, Vikings. Titans, of course. I love the Titans this season. Saints hosting the Browns off a bye. I'm going to give that one to the Browns. Patriots hosting the Rams. That one's going Rams. And I'm actually going to go with an upset win. Jags over Lions here. Broncos hosting the Falcons is going to be a Broncos upset win there. And Cowboys hosting the Texans. Battle of Texas. Cowboys are actually going to upset Lots of upsets this week. Thursday Night Football, I will go with the Eagles to beat the Commanders here. Bears hosting the Packers off a bye. Bears are not going to beat the Packers, man. And Seahawks off a bye are unfortunately going to lose to the Niners because Seahawks always lose after a bye. They just always lose. It's just what happens. Browns hosting the Steelers. I will take the Steelers to actually win this Thursday Night Football game. Texans are going to beat the Titans there. Dolphins are going to beat the Patriots. Raiders, Broncos. This one is going to go to the Raiders because of Broncos' curse. Chargers, Ravens. I will go with the Ravens, but that's going to be a good matchup Monday Night Football. Colts, Lions. Lions are going to take it. And Panthers off a bye are going to lose to the Chiefs. Bears are going to beat the Vikings here. Giants off a bye are actually going to upset win over the Buccaneers. Washington hosting the Cowboys does not matter. I think the Cowboys will take that. Seahawks are going to beat the Cardinals off a bye. Packers hosting the Niners. This is going to be the first loss for the 49ers the entire season. Even though the 49ers always beat the Packers, I just think the Packers are going to win that game. And it is not a primetime game. Damn it, that's stupid. Rams are going to host the Eagles and win. All right, now Chiefs Friday football. Interesting. Black Friday football. Chiefs are going to win that one. Patriots, Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts there. Bengals hosting the Steelers. I will go with the Bengals, but this could go either way for sure. Jags are going to beat the Texans in Duval. Broncos are going to upset the Browns there. Thursday football. I like the Packers to get this win here, actually. Falcons off a bye are going to beat the Chargers. Then Jets off a bye. I don't think it matters. I think Seahawks take that win. Commanders hosting the Titans. This is a really good game, and I will go with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels will take care of business. Ravens, Eagles, Battle of the Birds. This is interesting. This is an intriguing game here, and I like this. I am going to go with the Eagles, though, to get this win. Bills off a bye are going to beat the Niners, and then the Niners are in a bit of a slump here. Lions are going to beat the Bears, hosting them on Thursday, Thanksgiving football. And then we only have two. Oh, no, we have three Thanksgiving games. And then Cowboys are going to beat the Giants. Vikings hosting the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to win that one. Saints hosting the Rams off a bye. I'm actually going to go with an upset win by the Saints here. And then we have Panthers hosting the Bucks. Bucks are going to take that. Titans are actually going to beat the Jaguars here. Steelers are going to lose to the Browns. Dolphins are going to beat the Jets off a mini bye. And Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers. It's unfortunate, but it'll happen. Buccaneers are going to win there. Rams hosting Bills is going to be a really good game, and I will go with the Rams. Cowboys hosting the Bengals. I will give the Bengals the win there. I'll give them the nod there. Wow, this is a good game here. Lions, Packers. I'll go with the Lions to win this, and they're both at 8-5 with a 3-1 divisional record. Vikings hosting the Falcons is going to be an upset win for the Vikings here. Get them to 3-10. Giants hosting the Saints. I will go with another upset win, although I'm not sure it's really an upset, but whatever. Eagles are going to beat the Panthers. Seahawks are going to beat the Cardinals on the road, and Niners are going to beat the Bears. Kind of bounce back there. Texans hosting the Dolphins. Texans are going to win this game. Pass rush is just going to attack Tua. Titans, Bengals. Titans are going to beat the Bengals as they do. Jags hosting the Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets win there, actually. Browns hosting the Chiefs is going to be a Chiefs win, unfortunately. Broncos off a bye, hosting the Colts off a bye is going to be the Colts there. Giants, Ravens. I'm giving that one to the Ravens. And I'm actually going to have the Buccaneers beat the Chargers here. And Chargers have kind of fallen off since their 5-0 start. Cardinals hosting the Patriots off a bye. I'm actually going to give the the Cardinals a win here. And Lions hosting the Bills. I will give the Bills a win here. Now, Eagles hosting the Steelers. Give me the Eagles to win this one. And Raiders hosting the Falcons. I'm going to go with the Raiders. That defense is going to throw off Kirk Cousins there. Niners hosting the Rams. The Rams are going to win that one on Thursday Night Football. Even though it doesn't happen, it's going to happen. Commanders are going to beat the Saints here. Panthers Cowboys is going to the Cowboys. Seahawks Packers unfortunately goes to the Packers. And then Vikings are actually going to beat the Bears here. Monday Night Football. Bengals are going to lose to the Browns, as they do. Texans Chiefs is very intriguing, and I'm actually going to go with C.J. Stroud to get that win over Patrick Mahomes here. Kind of a Joe Burrow situation where he comes in, first time he faces Mahomes, he wins. Give me the Ravens to beat the Steelers here. Colts Titans, I'm going to go with the Colts to get this win. Bills Patriots, I'll take the Bills. Chargers Broncos, I'll take the Chargers. Raiders Jags, I'll take the Raiders in this game. Jets Rams, give me the Rams. Dolphins hosting the 49ers. This is going to be a Dolphins win here. Bears Lions, I'll take the Lions there. Falcons Commanders Eagles, I'm actually going to get an upset. Commanders over Eagles. And then Panthers hosting the Cardinals. I'll take a Cardinals win there. Seahawks are going to beat the Vikings. Cowboys are going to lose to the Buccaneers, who are now 9-6 and in a good spot to win this division in the next 2 weeks. Packers are hosting the Saints, and the Packers are going to win it. Saints are eliminated at this point. Going into Week 17, let's analyze. Let's take a look around and see the standings here. We have in the AFC the Chiefs as the 1 seed, 10-5. Ravens 2 seed, 10-5. Texans 3 seed, 9-6. Dolphins 4 seed, 9-6. Chargers 5 seed, 9-6. Titans 6 seed, 9-6, and Browns 7 seed, 9-6. NFC we have Niners 11-4, 1 seed. Packers 2 seed, 10-5. Buccaneers 3 seed, 9-6, and Cowboys 8-7 in the 4 seed. Then Rams wild card 11-4, 5 seed. Seahawks 9-6, 6 seed, and Lions 9-6, 6 seed. Now we got Steelers Chiefs. I will go with the Chiefs here, and Steelers winning season is just done. Texans hosting the Ravens. This is a battle for seeding on Christmas football. And this one's actually going to go to the Texans. C.J. Stroud beating the Ravens there. Bengals hosting the Broncos. I will take the Bengals there. And then, there go my dogs, of course, towards the latter end of a video. Could never have a stream without my dogs barking. It just doesn't work like that. Patriots hosting the Chargers is going to go to the Chargers. Jags. Unfortunately, the Titans will not win in Duval. Bills hosting the Jets. I will actually go with a Jets win here to kind of ruin the Bills' playoff hopes. Browns hosting the Dolphins. I'll take the Browns here. And then Giants hosting the Colts. Give me the Colts. Saints hosting the Raiders. I will take the Saints to get this win. Thursday Night Football. I'm actually going to take the Bears to beat the Seahawks here. I have a bad feeling about that game, and I think they will win. Cardinals are going to lose to the Rams here, who then jump ahead to first in the division. Commanders Falcons. I'm going to give this one actually to the Commanders to go to up to 9-7. Vikings Packers. Vikings hosting the Packers are going to upset win, which really hurts the Packers' chances at winning the division. Buccaneers hosting the Panthers. Buccaneers are going to lose to the Panthers, trying to clinch the division. They're going to lose it because that's how the NFC South always goes. Eagles, Cowboys. This is basically deciding playoffs here, and I'm going to go with the Eagles to get that win. Niners, Lions. I will go with the Lions to finish what they couldn't do in the NFC Championship and beat the Niners. Next, we go to final week, Week 18. Chargers, Raiders. I think at this point, Chargers will likely be resting starters, so I will go with the Raiders to get a win there. Broncos, Chiefs. I think Chiefs are probably fighting because Chiefs lose this and Texans win it. Texans are 1 seed. So I think Chiefs are fighting and they're going to fight and clinch that 1 seed. Titans, Texans. This one is interesting because Titans win and they are in, Jags are out. If Texans win, Jags are in. This one I'm actually going to have the Titans winning it. Titans are in the 7 seed for now because if Jags win it, Jags actually win the division, and if Colts win it, Jags are out. We can talk about that one later. Let's go to one that does not matter. I will go with the Steelers over the Bengals. Ravens, Browns to decide the division. Winner wins the division. This one is going to be the Ravens to win the division there, get that 2 seed. Patriots, Bills. Now here, this one shouldn't matter because Bills win. They're still out of it because you have to 10-7 to get into the playoffs. So I will go with the Bills, but it will not matter there. Although if the Jets lose, nope, still doesn't matter. Or if the Jets win, still does not matter. Dolphins at this point have won the division based on their 4 and at this point 1 record. So I will go with the Dolphins to get that win, and they do win the division. Now, Jaguars, Colts, this is very intriguing. I mean, Jaguars, they do have a good team, and I do like the Colts as well. And this, you could see how close they are, and I actually am going to go with the Colts to get a win at home and keep the Jaguars out of the playoffs. Rams hosting the Seahawks. Seahawks are fighting for a playoff spot. If the Seahawks win, they are in the playoffs. Rams at this point, if the Niners win, it does not matter. If the Niners and Seahawks win, so if the Niners win and the Rams lose, the Rams do not win the division. So I actually am going to go with the Seahawks to get this win on the road. It is tough. It is a tough game here, but I am going to go. It says 4 a.m. That's not true. But I am going to go with the Seahawks to get this win on the road. Niners are going to beat the Cardinals here, and they do jump into first place in the division, unfortunately, which means the Seahawks will have to face the Niners if they want to get anywhere in the playoffs. Packers hosting the Bears, and I'm going to have the Packers win this one. Cowboys, Commanders. I'm going to go with the Commanders to get a win here, almost clinching the division. Buccaneers hosting the Saints. Buccaneers are actually going to lose to the Saints, which means if the Falcons win, they win this division, but they do not. So Falcons lose. Falcons had the chance to win and win the division. They lose, unfortunately, going 8-9, missing out on the playoffs. Lions are going to beat the Vikings here, and Eagles are going to beat the Giants, but it does not matter because they are still out of the playoffs. The Commanders have won the NFC East. So now, let's look at these standings. We have the Chiefs and Niners as the 1 seeds, and they are on a bye. So we will have the Chargers going on the road to face the Dolphins here, and the Chargers are going to win that game, and Jim Harbaugh is going to win Coach of the Year most likely. Texans hosting the Titans. Now this game is very, very intriguing. I am going to go with the Texans to get a win here. And Ravens hosting the Browns. Ravens have the Browns number. Give me the Ravens to get this win here. Bucks hosting the Rams. Fortunately, Rams will be moving on. Commanders hosting the Packers. Packers will be moving on. And Lions hosting the Seahawks is an interesting game. And the Seahawks already won in the regular season. They will win again, knocking the 2-seed Lions out of the playoffs, being the second ever 7 seed to win a playoff game. Moving on, divisional round. Ravens-Texans, a rematch of last year's divisional round, and unfortunately it will go the exact same way, with the Ravens winning it, knocking the Texans out. And Chiefs-Chargers is a really good matchup. Unfortunately, it will go the exact same way, with Chiefs winning it. And Ravens-Chiefs will be a repeat. AFC Championship. Rams hosting the Packers is going to be a really good game, and unfortunately, I am going to go with the Rams to get this win here over the Packers, and I am going to go with the Niners to get a win over the Seahawks. Very unfortunate that two NFC West teams are left in the NFC Championship. Niners hosting the Rams. I am actually going to go with the Niners to knock off the Rams and make the Super Bowl. It's very, very unfortunate. But this time, I will have the Ravens defeating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship round, destroying their hopes of a three-peat. And then we go to the Super Bowl, Ravens, 49ers. Ravens make the Super Bowl every 12 years, and they're going to win it and keep the Niners once again from winning the Super Bowl. So close, yet so far. So, those are my predictions for the... Damn it, my fucking chair is sinking. So, those are my predictions for the 2024-2025 NFL season, which starts in approximately 4 hours. I have the Ravens defeating the 49ers in the Super Bowl, which is a pretty damn good Super Bowl if you ask me. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. I always love doing this. And let's take one more look at the standings so everybody can see where we're at. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I will be live streaming every Seahawks game that I can. I will be live streaming. I won't be live streaming the Seahawks Giants game because I am on vacation that weekend, but I'll be live streaming play-by-play for all the Seahawks games, and I will be making videos, post-game discussions and stuff like that, and previews for the upcoming Seahawks games. So look forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Backfield Blitz. I'm Ben, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.